Hey there, Dylan Reich here. In this video, we're going to talk about chords, specifically chord shapes. Okay? Now, I often find myself talking about intervals and what notes go into a chord and different voicings of a chord and different inversions and all that good stuff. But in this video, we're not going to talk about any of that. We're just going to talk about literally chord shapes. As in, you get a shape and you play it, right? And I think even on this level, there's a few things we can do. And the number one, moral to the story that I want to get across is I would encourage you, when you're seeing a chord shape and learning a chord shape, that you try to learn it as a shape on the fretboard and not just a finger shape. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, so a lot of times I see people that get very, very attached to the fingers, right? So example like D, a lot of people I've seen immediately know that's D, but if I played it like this, they don't recognize it because it doesn't look like D, even though it's the exact same shape, as in on the fretboard, I'm playing the exact same notes, right? So what I'm talking about is learning the shapes on the fretboard as well as fingers a little bit, right? We want both. And I'll show you why, right? So here's a typical chord shape, D, trusty old D. So we could probably find 10 billion versions of this chord shape around the internet and the world. And pretty much all of them are going to have this fingering. First finger on here, second finger here, third finger here, right? Now, here's the problem with these shapes. There's not really a problem. It's just something to keep in mind, okay? Is that the shapes, they don't know what context you want to use them, right? Or what's before it, what's after it, and how you're using it. So if I'm just strumming a D chord, this is perfectly good. Nothing wrong with it. It's D. If I'm going to do this like suspended thing, it's also great, right? Because I've got a free finger here, my pinky, which is right close to all that stuff. So it works well. But what if I didn't want to do that and I wanted these notes over here? Well, this is kind of doable, sort of, but pretty awkward and weird, right? But if I play the same D, same shape, I'm just changing the fingers, right? Now I can easily reach all these other notes. So and do whatever. Let's say I wanted some notes over here, right? Well, this shape's no good to me because my fingers are over there. That first shape, not any better. But what if I did this way? Same exact shape, same notes on the fretboard, but now I have my first finger over here, so I can do something like that, or some kind of Mixolydian sounding thing. And this works, right? So same chord, D, it's the same inversion and same voicing and literally the same notes on the same strings. It's the same everything. I'm just changing the fingers I'm using, right? So that's the moral of the story, is think about it like a shape on the fretboard and think of your fingers as flexible. Like you choose whichever fingers make sense in the situation. And you can always have like this, like a default setting. Like this is perfectly good as a default setting. You see D, you do this. But always keep in mind that you don't have to do this, right? So remember I did that thing a second ago, like I've seen people that if they were trying to learn that would end up doing something like this. Because anytime they see this grouping together, they are so locked in on it has to be these fingers like this, right? So I'm saying, you know, let's separate these two things, the shape on the fretboard and the fingers, and we can choose whichever fingers make sense. All right, you with me? All right, so I got a couple of exercises that can help us with this. And the first one is kind of doing what we just did, which is take a familiar shape, whatever it is. Let's do another one. Let's do A. And simply, can you come up with at least one more different way of fingering this chord? You know, maybe that, maybe that, maybe that, maybe that. I mean, that one's kind of weird, but how many can you come up with, right? It's really just training your brain to think of it like, yes, it's a shape, but I have some freedom in how I'm applying it. All right, the next exercise I've got for you is you can take some of these shapes and can you play through them with one finger? So like, you know, this type of shape, typical bar chord, major chord shape. Can we go through it? Not that we're really going to play a lot of lines like this with one finger, but it really is just a test of how well do you know the actual shape, other than just my hand does this. Can we see what's in the shape? And don't just go up and down like that, jump around. Stuff like that, just to give yourself a little test, see how well you know some of these chord shapes. And one final exercise, and this one's really fun, it's challenging, is let's take a chord progression. I'm going to go D, A, B minor, G. Let's do G like that. And then the rhythm can be basic. Now, the exercise is, can I play that chord progression, and not just the chord progression, but those specific shapes, because again, we're not thinking about anything else yet, on one string at a time. So can I play whatever the first string did in that whole chord progression, like this? You see what I mean? So when I strum D like this, the first string was doing this note. When I went to A, the first string was doing this note. When I went to B minor, it was doing this note. And then when I went to G, it was doing this note. So I'm going to play just the first string version of this chord progression. And can I go through all of the strings? Right? This really forces you to really think about how well you can see these progressions taking place and these shapes taking place on the fretboard. And this, I find, is a good kind of way to ease in to, you know, playing melodies over chord changes. Because sometimes it can be very overwhelming, you know, to talk about, well, there's chords and there's first inversion, second inversion, different voicings and spread voicings, and we can play them all over the neck and blah, blah, blah. It's like, wow, there's so much here. It's hard to know where to start. And I think that sometimes starting with the shapes that people already know is a good entry point, right? Because often you're spending time with these shapes anyway. You see them, they're online, they're in music, they're in magazines, books, whatever. They're all over the place. So you may as well just go one level deeper and think about what's underneath your fingers, right? And then with that last exercise, you don't have to stop at just one string. We can do little pairs, right? So right? So you can still hear that chord progression going by, because we don't always want to have every finger occupied doing a thing. Maybe I just want this part or this part. You know what I mean? Right, so this is just something that I've noticed over the years, comes up again and again, is that sometimes people just get so locked into the fingers, and it's not, you know, I don't make videos like this because we're trying to, you know, make fun of anybody. It's really just, sometimes people have never been told, right? No one's ever told them to do this, right? So that's the spirit of these kind of videos. We're just trying to learn together. Another thing I've seen that's kind of similar is, like, I've seen people learn the notes like this, E, F, G, E, F, G, E, F, G. And on the surface, it looks like, all right, they're really getting this, because that is E, F, and G, right? But then later what I realized is they weren't actually learning that this note is F and this note is G. They were learning first finger is F, third finger is G. First finger is F, third finger is G. Which is fine as long as your hand never moves from right here, right? So I remember somebody that as soon as your hand was here, they couldn't find G anymore, even though it's in the same place it always was, right? This is G, no matter what finger you use to play it. But they were so locked into G as my third finger that up here they were very confused, right? So this is all just to say, you're learning this stuff anyway. You're in the process of doing it, and we're, you know, looking at all these shapes and diagrams and things. This is all just a little reminder to look underneath your fingers at the shape on the fretboard. Okay? So let me know how you do with those exercises, and also let me know if this is something new to you, if you've ever thought about this before, and if you found this really easy, or was this a real challenge? I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a comment. I will catch you in the next video. Have a good day.